Welcome to Star Watch Now, your front row seat to all the hottest gossip, drama, and breaking news from the world of entertainment. If it's trending, shocking, or star-studded, we're covering it. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Queenstown is usually the sort of place where the mountains keep their secrets and the lake keeps its calm. But on this particular evening, the stillness broke. A low-key arrival turned into a roar as Wang Yibo stepped into view and the crowd's energy snapped into focus. Not the brittle shriek of a flash mob, but the rolling thunder you hear before a goal goes in. Queenstown sits on the shore of glacier-carved Lake Wakatapu, embraced by peaks like the Remarkables, a setting that makes even ordinary gatherings feel cinematic. People who had promised themselves they'd just have a look found their phones forgotten. Arms lifted, voices joining. It felt less like a fan meet and more like a home side returning victorious. The sort of spontaneous pride that happens when art and audience find each other far from home. The story was simple. A star known for graft rather than noise, stepping into a town famous for adventure and atmosphere. And that combination, seriousness meeting spectacle, is precisely why the sound carried so far that night. He came to Queenstown, New Zealand for a commercial shoot and a fan-facing promotion connected to the Wind Chaser. Eyewitness clips and community posts framed him as polite, understated, approachable. Then the temperature rose. Chants, a surge towards the barricades, and that distinctive ripple of shared excitement you can feel in your chest before you consciously register it. Context matters here. Queenstown's identity was shaped by adventure long before social video existed. In 1988, A.J. Hackett opened the world's first commercial bungee at nearby Kawarau Bridge, and the town has worn the adventure capital tag ever since. The place is primed for adrenaline and communal release. The award being discussed online, often described as an overseas influence / most influential TV series overseas recognition, is part of this picture, too. For supporters, it confirms momentum. For skeptics, it raises questions about criteria. Both reactions are healthy. Mature entertainment cultures live with disagreement. They ask for receipts rather than shouting down the other side. In that sense, the Queenstown evening was not an ending, but the start of a wider, grown-up conversation. Not every cheer is equal. What made this one distinct was the setting and the story. A South Island town framed by Lake Wakatapu's long S-bend, and hemmed in by serrated ridgelines turns even simple applause into theater. Meanwhile, the Wind Chaser has traveled on the strength of a performance style that rewards close watching. Steadiness, restraint, controlled escalation. Choices that play well to adults who have seen plenty of hype come and go. Older viewers, 35 to 75, often respond to professionalism. Lean preparation, respect for craft, and credibility built one role at a time. When that sensibility meets a town wired for heightened experience, the same place that pioneered bungee, the reaction doesn't just spike, it holds. And holding is what matters. Sustained applause, not merely loud applause. That is why the atmosphere read stadium rather than street performance. There's a second layer, too, cross-cultural pride. For many, the night symbolized Chinese drama being watched and respected abroad. That sense of validation, felt quietly rather than shouted, is often what keeps people in their seats long after the first scream fades. wspartners.bbc.com. Online chatter referenced an overseas influence / most influential TV series overseas, nod for the Wind Chaser. Celebrations were immediate. Scrutiny followed. Who issued it? How broad was the panel? What data underpinned the term influence? Those questions aren't cynicism. They're the signs of a mature audience. Awards have always evolved with industry economics. In 2025, most viewers want criteria as much as ceremony. Here's the constructive part. Moments like Queenstown create an opportunity to educate audiences about what influence can mean. Viewership outside home territory, completion rates, licensed platform performance, and cultural footprint. Press coverage, screenings, community events. When channels present dates, locations, and source lines on screen, viewers feel respected and are more likely to stay for the analysis instead of skimming to the clips. In short, enjoy the celebration, keep the questions. That balance is what turns a burst of noise into a credible marker along a global journey. A journey that, For Queenstown at least, unfolded against mountains that have seen fads come and go and still insisted on substance. For sensible viewers, the proof isn't in the volume. It's in the receipts. Start with verifiable where/when. Add lawful OH indicators, permitted posters, venue boards, community listings, the sort of collateral that leaves a paper trail. Overlay that with trend snapshots that show a timestamp and a platform rather than a cropped, context-less screen grab. Put it together and you get a picture of attention with a footprint, not just noise. Queenstown helps here. It's a compact hub where signals ripple visibly. Airport queues, waterfront clusters, taxis and shuttles converging. National Geographic once described the town's frenetic energy in peak periods. It's a place where visitors cram a lot of living into a short window, amplifying any spark into a visible flame. National Geographic. When you show your audience the audit trail, even in simple lower thirds, date, place, a source, you reduce argument heat and increase understanding. The applause becomes traceable. And traceable applause is the kind that persuades the grown-ups who will still be watching long after the hashtag cools. If nights like this are to become a blueprint, 3 additions would make them better. Deeper exchange, community footprint, and comm safety. Exchange means more than photo ops. Think small round tables where actors discuss research methods, dialect work, and movement training with local film students. Community footprint could be no fuss. A lakeside tidy up the morning after, or a microgrant for youth arts coordinated with local council. And safety does not kill excitement. It sustains it. New Zealand's guidance for crowded places balances public enjoyment with pragmatic risk planning. Simple stewarding, clear routes, and communication keep the magic without the mayhem. New Zealand Police. These steps turn a spike into a relationship. Fans remember the conversation they had, the small act they took, the way the crowd moved without panic. Local businesses remember the orderly footfall. Authorities remember a night that worked. That collective memory is what earns the next permit, the next venue, the next welcome, so the roar can return, a little wiser and a lot more sustainable. The commercial shoot matters because brand stories travel faster than press notes. Helly Hansen, founded in Norway in 1877 by Sea Captain Helly Hansen, built its name on weatherproof kit for real workers before becoming an outdoor staple. That lineage carries a quiet credibility with mature audiences. In 2025, the brand also made business headlines as Canadian Tire agreed to sell it to contour brands, Wrangler/Lee. A reminder that even heritage labels evolve in global hands. Why does this matter to a Queenstown evening? Because story plus skill plus sensible marketing is the triangle that holds. A performance anchored in craft, a drama with legs, and a brand with authentic outdoor DNA. Set in a town that has shifted from pure adrenaline to high-end wellness and gastronomy. Create a coherent narrative for viewers who value substance. Queenstown's luxury scene, from new hotels to serious wine lists, underscores that pivot. The Australian. In other words, the partnerships surrounding the night weren't accidental decoration. They were part of why the whole picture felt unusually grown up. The milestone isn't the decibel level. It's the normalization. When international audiences expect Chinese drama to travel, when it's no longer news that a series draws crowds in a lakeside town far from Beijing, that's when the ecosystem has matured. The work will still need to be good. The routes will still need to be lawful and safe. The brands will still need to earn their place. But the pathway will be familiar, and familiarity breeds calm confidence. The Wind Chaser sits neatly in that arc. A period story that rewards attention, a lead who has shifted from idle conversation to craft conversation, and a fan community learning to celebrate and scrutinize in the same breath. Nights like Queenstown are not endpoints. They are stress tests. If you can keep the applause traceable, the partnerships credible, and the crowd comfortable, the roar returns. Louder in meaning, not just in sound. And that, for viewers from Seoul to Sydney, Tokyo to Toronto, is the kind of progress worth staying up for. If you appreciate calm, well-sourced stories without the shouting, please subscribe to UpdateX24H, turn on notifications, and share this with a friend who loves great dramas and great nights out. Thanks for watching, stay well, and we'll see you in the next story.